Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, are we back? Are we live? I think we're good. We got 33 people in the house. Welcome to episode 2.5 of the Mountains Project. I got the OG Ryan McConnell, brainstorm maniac, with me. Ryan and I have spent a lot of time in the dungeon, we call it, at BBA, a number of years, brainstorming ideas and having a ton of fun. So him and I are going to chat it up for a little while here. And I said, hey, dude, I need you to come help me test this thing out once again. And it's going to be fun. So appreciate you guys being in here. Hey, tell your friends, right? If this thing goes smoothly, which I think it is going to go smoothly, let me know. And you guys actually hear me this time. That's awesome to see. And I apologize to Brock Hoyer for the previous episode. That was an absolute failure. Couple things going on, guys. I still have not finished out the giveaway / fundraiser for the wildfires in Oregon. So the link's in the description of this video. If you want to donate $20, you can get entered to win helmet, goggles, jacket, all of that stuff. I'm probably going to do that giveaway maybe tomorrow. So last spot. Last chance to get that thing going on. And then if you guys are in the CBD game, use code Roscoe at abliss.com for some CBD. They got some great infused waters, some oils, and all that good stuff. So those guys are local, and mad love to those guys. So I guess without further ado, I see you guys in the chat. We're talking about snow. Everybody's excited. And let's bring my boy in here. And Ryan McConnell is entering. Right.
Hello.
Now.
Radio voice. Check. Radio voice. Hey.
What's up, dude? How are you?
Everyone is so excited. I'm excited. And let's see, we've been doing this a long time.
Yeah. You have.
The whole snowmobile thing, right?
Yep.
So
you have.
It's easy to kind of just not be that excited because it's kind of just our life. But man, this is an exciting year.
It is an exciting
I
year.
don't know what it is.
Well,
maybe it just has something to do with being locked up for months. I don't know. Something like that, but I'm excited.
I think a lot of people's season got cut short for a number of reasons, whether it was travel or whatever. I know ours certainly did, and it sucked. We didn't like it. So I know I missed a couple good storms because of it.
And that carried into some other activities in life too. So it just feels good to think that we got old man winter brewing up some storms here in the Northwest anyway. So it's looking good for us. Yeah,
we might have somewhat of a normal winter, hopefully. And the predictions for snow forecasts are good. It's raining here a little bit right now, which is exciting. So it's exciting. So we can talk about whatever we want, and you and I have some ridiculous conversations all the time. We can talk about trucks. We can talk about snowmobiles, all of that. For the people that don't know the key role that you play, I try to tell people all the time that you're the backbone of the BBA company in a number of ways. Sometimes working in the shadows, but then when I started to put a camera on you the last couple of years it was super fun. So I hope now that I'm not there, I get to see more. You get some time without me being there as well, because you're a funny dude. You're a hell of a dude as well. So
just try to be real.
Yeah. So but you and I have been talking about trucks a lot recently because we both are doing the F-150 thing.
We got twinsies.
We do have twinsies, and my camera just went out. So, hey, how about I'm gonna put a battery in my camera, and you give them the breakdown on essentially what we're driving on the trucks.
Yeah, we can talk about sleds a lot, but hey, we do that every day, so it's kind of fun to talk about other things besides sleds and trucks. Cars are a big passion of mine, and any one of us that rides snowmobiles, we need the right equipment to get to the goods. So. Truck-wise, we've all had our big diesel trucks. Roscoe and I have both had LBZ Duramaxes. We've both had 1-ton Power Strokes. Awesome trucks. We loved them. But we both kind of at the same time decided, hey, let's try something different and new, and maybe just a little bit more fun factor. So both of us have 19, 150 crew cab, long bed, 3.5 eco boosts. And man, it's been fun just kind of getting them dialed in so that they perform top notch, but also are capable of hauling our sleds around on our decks. And that's primarily how we use them. So like for me and Ross, we really have ours set up pretty similarly. We both kind of laugh and talk about how, well, we'll just mostly keep them stock, but like sleds, that lasts maybe a couple weeks, and then it's what can we do to personalize? And so, like for me personally, I like to just kind of have a little character as I do with my sleds. So tint the windows, WeatherTech floor mats, tires, wheels, suspension, level kit, just some of those kind of goodies, lighting, and then some overload springs for hauling around the sleds just to keep her nice and level. They do a pretty good job. If you guys don't know, the 150 is pretty dang capable for hauling a couple of sleds around, as long as you get the heavier duty GBWR package and the long bed, you're golden. But probably, and I think Roscoe would agree, for all you car and truck lovers out there, one of the coolest things we've both done to our trucks lately is what's called the pedal commander. And it basically is just a throttle response controller that plugs right into your pedal input on your vehicle. And they make them for pretty much every make and model. And holy wow, dude.
Yeah, they're so cool.
It's so cool, man. The 3.5 Eco Boost and the 2.7 Eco Boost are lively, but tack this baby on and put her on Sport Plus mode, and geez, it is fun.
It's super fun.
Yeah.
Like with talking about the pedal commander, I can't even hardly drive mine in sport mode if I have anything in the if there's no weight in it, because I just I'm just like all over the place. I'm just squealing the tires everywhere I go. It's so touchy, but you get used to it, and it's actually like makes it way more fun to drive as well.
Way more fun. Yeah, if you don't have it, like if you drive it without, it feels a little boring. I put one in my wife's rig. She has a 2.7 Eco Boost, and the 2.7 boosts a little quicker, and so you can't quite run it on the same setting. If you try that, holy crap, you can't keep the tires from breaking loose pretty much nonstop. So super fun. But truck wise, I guess that's kind of what we've been working on. We're both doing the Fox 2.0 coilover setup on the front to add a little more, sporty handling characteristics, but also levels are out. It makes it look a little nicer. So that's one thing we've been doing. There's a cool product that we discovered. It's called Ecoological, and it's basically plastic bumper covers. They're called bumper shelf, and you can use those to cover your chrome. Like Roscoe, you got the chrome package, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to block things out. I got the sport package, so I'm just trying to keep the rock chips from destroying the front of my truck. So I threw on the bumper covers, kind of adds a little spicy look to it, blocks things out, protects the bumper. And then for those of you guys that have chrome, and they make them for all models, kind of nice to hide the chrome without having to go get a wrap and either do that yourself or have someone install it. So super easy to install. I just did mine the other day.
And they're cheaper. I just looked at the prices after you sent me the link. They're cheap. They're way cheaper than you could wrap a bumper for professionally,
Yeah. So I guess, on the truck side of things, that's what both of us have been kind of tweaking with over the summer. And we both got ours within the last year, and just been having fun, something new. Mileage is incredible. Power is incredible. It's been really fun to drive, especially for like Ross and I being more in kind of city driving, especially and parking in tight spots and just turning capabilities and all that.
Yeah.
Really fun.
Yeah.
So.
And I have had a couple of non-believers that are like, man, you can't drive a half ton, or, they were like, but I mean, I'm testing some things in a couple of ways, like what do I need to do to the suspension to haul 2 sleds, and but I mean, like, they have plenty of power and they do the job, and you get the longer bed with the load package and stuff. So and
she handles pretty good.
Yeah, it does. And we haul sleds. Like, sleds are the biggest thing I haul anymore. So
same with me. That's why I stepped down to the 150.
Yeah.
I didn't need the 1 ton anymore.
Yeah. So
it's
a fun.
Like when we went to Grizzly, Ross, we had 4 of us, all our gear. So everyone had 3 bags. Only had 1 sled, but the entire deck was full of gear bags and equipment.
Yeah.
I mean, handled it beautifully. So two sleds are no problem with a couple guys. So
for sure.
Just kind of one of those things to consider if you're in the market or thinking about something new or more fun. It's been a blast.
So it was you, me, Kyle, Chris, and we all had 2 bags. Brant had 5 bags because he had like all sorts of shit in there. He had
the motor.
He had lightweight parts and carbon fiber and all sorts of stuff like that. So
yeah, bag.
But it's good times. Good times. So I'm watching the chat. If any of you guys have questions for Ryan, drop them, and we can answer some of those as well. But
fire away with anything. We've been doing some podcasts, having some fun with that at BBA. So it's just fun, exciting time of the season, great year to talk just about everything. So kind of touched on trucks a little bit. What are you thinking for sled, Roscoe? What do you got up your sleeve?
I don't know what I got up my sleeve. I got a lot of. I still am in the process. I don't even have a snowmobile here yet. I just sold one of my snowmobiles today, one of my last year's sleds. So still don't have sleds here. But
you got Scarface for sale still?
Yes, I have a beautiful 2020 155 sled with a 163 carbon fiber skid under it. IQS. I mean, it's built to the nines, and what we talked about. What I kind of was talking to a guy about today was like, there's a reason that Chris is riding a 900 so much, and like we're riding these we're going lightweight and like shying away from the turbo in certain situations, especially for certain type of riders. And that's what I was kind of explaining to him. He's like, why didn't you put your turbo on this sled with IQS and the lightweight skid? And I'm like, well, this thing is so light and fun. Like you don't really, it's a different weapon. So.
Yeah, true. Cool. Well, I'm going to do a 900 this year. I'm pretty excited.
Damn. You're going to be going fast. I was thinking about 900. See, there's a question right there from Tom. Thoughts on a 900?
Well, I'm thinking very heavily towards a 900.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. So cool. 900, lightweight skid, all that good stuff, Ross, Fox shock. So basically like what Kyle was running last year.
Yeah. That'll be really an unbelievably capable snowmobile right there.
Yeah. Probably unbelievably more capable than myself, but I hope to maybe give her a shot.
It will make you more capable. It makes all of us more capable.
Yeah, I'm excited. Keeping in with that theme. Super excited for that. So I've got some names up my sleeve for her and some of the others. So that's always fun.
I'll be calling you for the name game. See if I can. I don't even need to call you because I'll get text messages from you. You'll already have things making fun of me. So, I mean, Cole Wilford hates the names that you try to give him.
I've been meaning to text Cole his latest name.
He's got some names up his sleeve. But
his name plays very well to the name game. So
his
automatic.
It really does. For those of you guys that don't know, Ryan is the man behind the names. Like pretty much 95% of them.
95%. Yeah, you've had some good ones. So
I've had
some others.
I've had a couple, but you're usually like I've never had them on my own. It's always been influenced by you in a brainstorming session. So
that's the one thing I'm good at. I'll take it. So that's fun. More questions.
Dusty just asked if you're growing a mullet. What's going on?
Yeah, I was thinking about that today. I got a buddy here in Washington that's king of mullets. His name is Matt. And I was thinking about trying to match his deal.
Yeah.
The whole COVID thing kind of, I don't know, the barber.
Yeah.
What's funny is that when I was like 12, I had the exact same hair.
Really?
And so, like, looking back through pictures as I was locked down in the house over, March, April, like, I want to look like that again. So,
there you go.
My 12-year-old self.
Yeah. Dude, my girlfriend cut my hair like 2 nights ago, actually. She did like the whole fade and stuff, and like it was out of control.
She put the rose in the side?
Yeah, I was trying to get her to do some designs in the side of my head with the straight line, but
or in the back.
Yeah. There's only like one spot right in the back that she like kind of like got a little close on, so but you got to look pretty close at it.
That's right.
So
good. So
Um,
we got trucks, we got sleds. What's cooking? What else, Ross? We haven't talked for a bit.
yeah, let's talk.
Bikes.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
mountain
we both
bikes.
share that.
We love. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's unbelievable the crossover to not only maybe skill for a lot of people pick up pretty easy, like bike to bike or like bike to sled, motorcycle to bike, yada yada yada. But I would say aside from skill, enjoyment is the number one thing, right? For me, I think you as well. You're like, oh, this feels familiar in some ways. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's
yeah, mountain biking. Your son is a savvy. He can ride a way better wheelie than I can.
wheelie bird. Yeah,
I'm
man. That
super jealous about
I
it.
go out. I try to ride with him down the street to our local little park. We have this little hill that we attack. I mean, you look at it, it's just kind of silly, but I'm just like riding this archaic old mountain bike, right? But it's a super fun challenge. Like, try to get up the hill without falling off your bike or spinning out or whatever. That kid will just smoke me pretty much every time. It's awesome to see. It's also, it gets like, wait a minute, this kid's kicking my butt now. It used to be me kicking his butt. Hold on. So it inspires me to like, it's just like riding with you guys on the snow. Like, holy, keeps me young. But yeah, that kid can wheelie like crazy. He can wheelie down the street, down the hill, around the corner, out the garage. It's like, just practice. It's that whole mindset thing we talked about and been talking about a lot lately. It's just, he's said, I'm going to do it. And he practices and there he goes down the road. I'm just like, I'll get like 2 pedals in and fail.
Yeah.
And he's just like going 20 miles an hour as I'm filming him. There you go. So pretty cool.
Yeah. It's so cool. I think like at a younger, there's something about like his age, he like just can do it quick. Like,
yeah, there's no doubt or thinking about it.
And like, he's like, oh, I'm just going to try this. And then he keeps trying and trying and he never like, they don't like, something about a kid that age doesn't give up easily. And they just kind of enjoy the process more, you know?
Yeah, it's not stuck in your head like, there's no doubt for him. So that's cool. It's inspiring for me. And, you know, translating that same thing across all sports helps. So, you know, talk about snowmobiling, just it's a mental deal. Same with the bikes. And so much of it crosses over to everything we do. And, you know, me and you have gone skiing and boarding at times, and it's kind of fun just to do those things that are completely different than what we do like all the time. Of course, you board a lot more than maybe I ski, but some of the same attributes and following people around, you know, eyes up, looking where you want to go, all that kind of stuff makes a huge difference. So
yeah,
you know, we talk about that over and over in the snowmobiling world, but to your point, Ross, there's just a lot that crosses over in all sports that make it more challenging and fun and make you realize that, progression is, you know, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what I have grown to really like and like the mountain biking and also getting back to like boarding is the social aspect of it. Cause there's no full face helmet or motor that like muffles your sound. Like you can be like riding right next to your buddy and like hooting and hollering and you can hear each other and stuff like that. And, you know, biking's really fun that way. We have a pretty good crew of a number of people where we just, you know, drop in and we're tire to tire, yelling, hollering the whole way down, and you kind of amp each other up the whole way. It's really fun. It's something that you don't get as much in the power sports world.
That's right. That's cool.
Yeah.
I noticed maybe you have a difficulty with handlebars.
I have a difficulty with mountain bikes over the last couple of months for sure. Holy cow!
A couple frames and a couple bars.
Yeah.
Maybe a head and elbow.
Both my elbows are shot right now. And this is actually funny is, so we rode, like, this is a trail we ride all the time. And I dropped in and was riding it. And I think what like was the first thing that kind of put me on my side is there was a stick in the trail, a little stick, and I kind of hopped that with my front wheel, I think, and it kind of pushed me in a corner, and I just started like sliding with both tires just slid out, and I just did my left elbow like pretty good, like just road rash or whatever. No big deal. Get up and then keep riding down. And then we actually rode that section again. We pedaled back up and rode this jump line again. And so we drop in again, and I go over like the third jump, and that's where it all fell apart. Now back up to in the parking lot before we did this ride, I had like this like outdoor button-up short sleeve on that I was riding in, and
Not donuts.
yeah,
not the donut.
Not the donut one. This one was pretty good, pretty clean. But I had like, I think what happened was I went off the jump and I went to do like a little whip or like a tabletop, and I got the handlebar stuck in my button-up shirt. And so the handlebar is like stuck in my shirt, and I like have to rip it back, and I almost kind of rode it out, but I just was like too far over the front and kind of stuck on the handlebar. So I ended up just like tossing it, and I kind of just like rolled, went OTB a little bit, but it wasn't that, it was a small jump and I wasn't going terribly fast. But I get up and my handlebar, my carbon bar is broken clean off. Like clean off. It's just hanging there. My sunglasses are gone, like full on yard sailed. And I've never done that before. So that was a good one.
This kind of feels like your last year on the snow. A little bit.
Yeah, it does. My last year there in Colorado, I had some issues.
Oh man.
Dude, I was
You were the same.
Yeah. I was
just carried into the dirt.
Yeah.
Just the dirt is less forgiving, dude.
The dirt is less forgiving for sure. I've had a couple moments over the last year. So
yeah. Let's get you back on the snow.
Yeah, we're gonna get back on the snow for a while. But
happy little trees.
Yeah. You know what? For me though, like breaking a snowmobile or even crashing, as long as I'm not like injured, the most frustrating part about it is when you break something or you crash, is if you can't get up and do it again instantly. Like, because I want to just like do it again, like as quick as I can to just like get the reps, get that rep out of the way and get some fresh ones back in. Because it sucks when you fail and then you got to sit on it for 3 weeks because you broke your bike in half, or you broke your snowmobile in half, or you broke your body in half. It's just
story.
Yeah, so that's a bummer on that end. But let's talk a little bit about what you got going on now that I'm not in the house.
I miss you, little buddy. The dungeon is missing the Roscoe, but we've got some fun stuff. It's just trying to carry on the Roscoe tradition, and we got several new people in the house, and that's pretty fun and exciting. And Bubba, he's our new Roscoe replacement, and really enjoying having him on board, and picked the podcast back up. So we've done 3 podcasts. We've launched 2 of them. That's been super fun. The first one was essentials, so what you need to do to your sled, and the basic stuff that's so important. And then we've talked about today, the one we released is about basically how to get prepared to ride, to come ride with us. But it's not just with us, it's just you can utilize it for your season ahead. And so we've talked a lot about this, Ross, like what do we do to be ready to ride? And so it's everything from the physical side, from what do you do workout wise. There's a bunch of apps you can get on your phone to help you just have a more regimented, controlled, kind of just dedicated time to do your workout each morning, helps you through it. Cardio is big. Riding bikes, we talked about that. I'm not in the best of zones for mountain biking such as you are, Ross, but I get on my carbon street bike and I go ride and just get the cardio in, and all that makes a big difference. It doesn't have to be super strict 4 hours a day kind of stuff, but just do those things for yourself to get ready for the season. So to answer your question, Ross, the podcast, we're going to kick back the vlog soon. Sled talk is just nuts right now. We were talking about this before we went live. And when we went live, it's crazy times. People are amped. They're activated, as I'll say, just like ready,
tuned up on it. Yeah, people are fired up.
Or
turned, baby.
So, that's. This parts, accessories. It's you name it. We're just talking builds, and we are figuring out our sled builds, and I'm doing a 900. Like I said, so excited about that. It's going to be insane. Just hoping for a good snow in Colorado, and ready to kick off the season.
Yeah, cool. I know this is This time of year gets busier and busier for us in the industry. Earlier and earlier.
Yeah.
So I know we're designing wraps already. Like the deadline was like a week ago to get my wraps designed. So if you guys are looking for a wrap, check out that signature RR wrap camo. So this will probably be, I think this is going to be the last year of the camo. I'm trying to get the boys at Arctic FX to do a revision for next year. So I've only had like 17 camo sleds.
Yeah, I think we had a sled build person just do a Ross Robinson wrap the other day, and I got one of my followers on Instagram today hooked up with Arctic FX. You can get my version wrap. It's not on Sled Wrapper, but if a little plug for Arctic FX, if you just dial in to their site and click on the custom form and just ask if you're interested in one of my wraps, they'll get you hooked up too.
Nice, good. I'm glad you got
wrap
that going.
Season.
It's wrap season, baby.
It's wrap season, naming season, fun stuff.
Yeah. Going back on talking about the little fitness thing, dude, I got this app. It's called PrimalFit, and
PrimalFit. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. Especially if you guys are like don't have access to a gym right now, and all you need are like a couple dumbbells, ideally a couple kettlebells. And this dude he just does like really cool stuff that I believe in. When it comes to like mobility and body weight exercises, and then like a lot of just like core power work with like kettlebells and a lot of like flow work. So a lot of focus on like how you move. But it's an app that is really, it's been really good. I've been using it for a while since I haven't been in the gym as much. I'm looking to get back into the gym here shortly, and maybe do some content around the gym. But we'll see. I got to take care of some things first. I got to check some things off the box before I actually can go create more stuff. So yeah, go check that out, McConnell. PrimalFit. You can do
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, you can do a 14-day trial, but then you got to pay for the app after that. But it's worth just trying for 14 days and seeing if you're like jiving with it or not. But it's cool. Yeah.
I'm Primal.
Lachlan says, "Is it rap season, Ryan? Rap lyric season?"
The rap lyrics do inspire a lot of the names.
They do.
That's for sure.
They do.
Yeah. I don't know. I can talk about it, but it's hard because if I talk too much, then it's like revealing the vault.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a huge.
For sure.
It's a very close knit system of naming with people. So.
Yeah. I mean, like
I can't stop smiling just thinking about it. It's fun.
Yeah. It's super fun. And the community of us messing around with names and ideas and making up rules, and then like,
oh yeah,
you know, they have to be.
You can't name your turbo. If you're a new guy at BBA, like Wyatt's sled last year.
Yeah.
Wet Dream. Yeah.
The Greenhorn does not get to name his own snowmobile.
No.
The snowmobile gets to name the Greenhorn almost.
Yeah, and the Greenhorn's usually lucky if the snowmobile makes it through the season, but that's pretty rare that happens. So.
Yeah. We're doing good. I like the chat. People.
Question?
Yeah, I'm just checking. Talking about lightweight stuff. I can't stop eyeballing lightweight sled mods. Same.
It's an addiction.
It's an addiction that is sweeping the industry at a rapid pace. So.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to the workout thing too. I mean, there's a cheap way to lose some weight.
Yeah.
Off of you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make you faster, lighter, stronger, better.
That's right.
Even if you don't need to be lighter, just quicker and stronger, and like the ability to ride the sled more aggressively, for what it's worth. Right. It's super fun. But yeah, man. I don't know what else you got going on in your little head there.
Jeez, in my head, I don't know if we have enough time for that. Let's see. We talked trucks. We've talked sleds. We talked, what am I doing on sleds? We talked wraps, sled names, podcasts, vlogs. It's that time of year. I don't know. I'm just actually planning out my mountain bike purchase. That's what I'm talking fun.
Do you want to talk?
That's what I'm looking at next.
Yeah.
So,
do you want to talk about it?
I could go rip with you down in Bend. So Yeah, mountain bikes next on my list. Me and my son's got a nice Specialized Will, so I got to try to keep up with him. Keeps me young.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at, and then get my wife on too, so we can all go rip more often.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just keeping in shape and having fun. Like I said, just maximizing fun is important right now. It feels
cool. Yeah,
more than ever.
For sure. I think so. I found that like I need to set aside a time. Like if I'm not on my bike or doing something that like pushes myself in that aspect that gets me like amped up over a handful of days, I get kind of grouchy and I'm like, why am I even doing anything? So it's always good to go.
We don't want no grouchy Ross.
Yeah. So it was really fun. We had our first like somewhat of a small group ride since like COVID hit, and summertime here in Central Oregon, in Bend, June, July, August, they just get so hot and dusty that like it's not fun to ride in groups, and it's just not the same. And so we've got a couple rainstorms, and now we're starting to like do some group rides, and it is so damn fun. Like it is awesome. Just being able, like I talked about earlier, just being able to hoot and holler and stuff. And I think it's a great like family or like couples sport as well.
For sure.
If you don't have to be the exact same level, but if you're, relatively like you can get down this trail, you can ride it at your comfortable pace. Will can wheelie down the whole thing if that's what he's into, and you can both have fun, So
right.
I think that's what's super fun about it and stuff. So it's really exciting. I hope it'd be awesome to get you guys down here and rip some trails.
We're all in for that for sure. Just got to get geared up a little better.
Yeah. Yep. Got to get all the gear.
What's nice about where you're at too is like, depending on the winter, and hopefully it's a little more wintry this year, but man, you can ride in your zone a lot of the year. Mm-hmm. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah. We have trails east of town that are, essentially winter trails because they're so sandy in the summer that we don't even touch them or the spring and fall. And then, winter comes around and they might get snow for a week or two, but then, they melt off and they're these like hard pack, just ripper trails that you can go ride if you get a wild hair or it hasn't snowed for a couple weeks and you want to go ride your bike, you can go do it there too. So yeah, it's great.
Awesome.
So there's a note that's, one of the reasons that I'm back here in Central Oregon, home is just, it's good for everything. And we always say it's good for everything, not exceptional at anything. We don't have the best snowmobiling in the world. We don't have the best mountain biking in the world, but we got damn good snowmobiling. We got damn good mountain biking, and we have, a
lot of sunshine.
We have a lot of sunshine, a lot of really good restaurants, and a lot of breweries. So it's right. Super fun.
A lot of breweries. Being a little farther north, I got a lot of gray and a lot of rain, but we do get a lot of snow.
Yeah, and
a lot of water.
A lot of water, and with that comes good dirt as well. So
yeah, there is good dirt here.
Yeah.
Up at Bellingham, it's pretty good riding. I haven't had a chance to do much because I haven't been equipped for it properly yet, but soon. So looking forward to all that. And then, of course, ski season, snowboard season.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd love to ride, and I ride a lot, but it's so fun to have that different thing to do. Mm-hmm. Like you said, just the interaction with people is a little easier, right? You don't have the loud motor in your face. You can, like when we go rip bachelor together, we can yell at each other through the trees. Hey, I'm stuck. Yeah. You can actually hear.
Yeah.
So that's fun. I'm looking forward to that and getting this, that's part of what I love doing with my family. And, I get to go to Colorado and Chile and Grizzly and all those fun places, but to get to travel around the Northwest and go skiing at the various resorts, like kind of Bachelor, we'll go Stevens, or we'll go Mission Ridge or Mount Baker up here. Looking forward to doing some of that, already planning things out, which reminds me, there's always something, man, like skis. I want to get a new pair of skis. So just once again, I want to maximize fun as much as possible. Life is short.
Yep.
I know we say that kind of cliche, but go have fun. Enjoy the freedom we have.
Yeah, seriously. And especially if you're, like if you're not tied down, if you're, all these things. And I think like you're a great guy to talk to about this too, is like how old you actually feel, opposed to like, people are like, I've heard friends that are close to my age be like, yeah, man, I'm like 28. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? We're so young. I'm like 12 years old. I literally can't even, like, I'm bad.
Yeah.
But
it's all in your mind.
Yeah.
And we talk about this a lot. Like pretty much every time we talk, podcast or blog or whatnot, this topic comes up. We touched on it a little earlier. It's all, you hear it. It's just a number. And it is, if you let it get in your mind, which it can happen to me. I mean, I'm an older dude, but if you just keep active and just have the mindset of being positive and adventurous and active and letting like the younger people inspire you also. I mean, it's one thing I love about hanging out with you, Ross. You inspire me to try this, something I maybe wouldn't have tried, or like you and Kyle over the last few years, you're up there. I'm like, well, I don't want to be down here. This is lame.
Yeah.
So just, once again, it's usually up here, like keeping me like, oh, maybe I'll just be fine here. Well, no, push yourself. You're never too old. And I see that often, I'll see parents even say, well, yeah, I'm already whatever, and I'm too old to learn that. No, you're not, Mom or Dad. You can do that. And
yeah.
I love that challenge. So
for sure,
that's what carries through into everything we do. I think it's what keeps life interesting and keeps you young.
Yeah. And, it's like I always think you can't, you never know the outcome of another option. So it's like, if you got a feeling you want to do something, you want to try something, do it. Like, it's just, you have to go do that and try it, especially if you're going to regret it. If you don't, so no regret. Yeah. It's
words of wisdom. And I always tell people too, you have something you want to do. Usually you're your own worst enemy when it comes to that. Oftentimes my battery's running low. Oftentimes I am. But if you just put your mind to it, and I have to remind myself this often, it'll most always happen. It may not be the way you thought it would happen or as quickly as you thought it would happen. It may take forever, but it'll happen if you put your mind to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Put your mind to it, figuring it out, this stupid show that we're doing right now has been has taught me a lot in that aspect. It's put me behind on a lot of projects, but because I'm like, well, I could have edited a video, but I just spent 7 hours trying to figure out this live stream. But then, I see, we've had 50 people in here almost the whole time. Just, and I literally posted about it like 15 minutes ago. So that's pretty cool and I'm like, wow, if I actually get it dialed and we get it consistent and people know that it's coming like every Tuesday or something like that, we can do this. And nobody else is doing it in the industry, this style. I mean, we have the Chris Brandt podcast, and I want the Roscoe show, where it's the late night evening show where we're kicking back and just having a good time, where we don't have to necessarily get into the nitty gritty every episode. So
yeah, that's what's fun. Yeah. It's fun just to talk about life. Our experiences and sharing that with people. It's fun. I love hearing feedback and questions, and always available. So love hearing from people on social media. Just, I'll often get, I'm really surprised you responded. Well, why wouldn't I? I love this. I mean, that's what we do. It's all in the effort of fun and inspiring other people to have as much fun as we try to live. So yeah, hit us up anytime.
Wait, Avery's the new kid, huh?
Yeah,
Avery White. Yeah, he's asking. He's like, what did he say? There he is.
What?
He said the question for Ryan is, how do you spell snowmobiling? That's an inside one, isn't it?
Hey, it's not so inside as of today, because we kind of called Bubba out on his typographical error issues. Some typos on snowmobiling, probably the biggest word in our business.
Oh, dude, yes.
And spelling Chris's name. Otherwise, he's pretty good.
Yes, dude. He's not better than me, because I would do that stuff all the time. Oh gosh.
Oh man, so many. I got him set up on email, and then he's like, "Hey, I'm all set up." And then I look at his big signature block, nice fancy graphic design, and it spells Chris Brandt incorrectly.
Dude, that's classic. I love that, actually. I have respect for that.
First podcast that goes out, it's like SM snowmobiling.
Yeah.
So
He's just
there you go, Avery.
dude, I know the deal because he's just fully tapped, like going as fast as he can to try to produce stuff and like knock stuff off the list.
Where they're like, hey, could you me both and me and Chris now?
Yeah. Is it okay? This is a question. Because when I initially kind of started the like movement of what you guys are doing there, it was a lot of like me bugging Chris. Now that it's not me, is it Chris like bugging him?
There's that and me
and you as well. Yeah.
I think me a lot too, because I just so badly want it to rekindle. Right. It's so much fun. I mean, it's what makes all of us agree. It's doing this type of stuff is fun. It allows us to connect with people and share our thoughts and inspirations. So yeah, it's both. And, he's just started, so he's just, he's anxious and eager, but yeah, we're after him.
Cool. Good.
For sure. In the dungeon.
I lost my chat. I hit something and I lost my chat.
Uh-oh. Well, you lost it a long time ago.
I lost my brain a long time ago. Here we go. I'm back in now.
Yep.
Yeah, it's always interesting to I'm really excited to see how the season plays out for you guys, as I'm just as more so curious about how the season's going to play out for me, being all alone. There's no one here. It's just me running around. But it's exciting and cool. So I'm glad you guys are doing it. Full
Thanks
tilt.
For the inspiration for it all. Yep.
Let me find the chat again so I can talk to you guys.
Yeah, get that going.
Where did it go?
Do you see me requesting a chat again?
Yeah. Do you want me to bring a third person into this bad boy? What's going on here?
Because my phone is about ready to die.
All right.
See if it works. Connecting.
Ladies and gentlemen, stand by. Look at now he messed up my beautiful overlays. There he is. Probably got dual audio going on. We're gonna kick him. Bye. I'm gonna put you.
Well, if it ends now, at least it was a lot of fun. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I do have you. Oh, dude, that was it. It was your phone.
Hold on a sec, Roscoe.
See, ladies and gentlemen, now he sounds better. We should just restart the podcast at this point.
Hold on a sec. Don't you just love technology?
Lachlan, thanks for the love. David McKinney's in the house. What's up, dude? You're just keeping an eye on me, seeing what I'm doing. I respect that. Heston, thanks for the questions. You and Aiden got a little chat going on. Jacob, I don't even have a snowmobile right now, bro. I got some sleds on order.
Hold on a sec, Ross.
Yeah, you're good. Can you hear me? We can hear you, Ryan.
I know. I just had a little blip there. Yeah. That's what keeps things interesting.
Of course.
Sorry about that, man. My phone I thought was plenty charged, but I don't have the latest phone, so
we must have Jordan Yankee must have heard that we were talking about Arctic Effects earlier, because I just heard he just popped up in the chat. It says hashtag.
What's up, Jordan?
Hashtag Ryan stole my sled.
I did?
Yeah, apparently. I don't know.
The 900?
Probably.
It's possible.
So
come and see us, Jordan. I can't wait to reveal the name on the 900.
Oh, dude, it's gotta be. I'm gonna guess it's some ridiculous play on words.
Oh yeah. I can't even say it I can't even think about it without laughing.
And like, we've had some sled names where like, oh my God, this is the greatest sled name ever. But if somebody would walk by the shop that was maybe having a bad day, or like was like a little bit on the more conservative side, they'd question me. Sometimes
as a person.
I'm like, this is the funniest name I've ever thought of in my entire life, but I don't think it's appropriate. But it's fun. So
there's many in the vault that are that way right now.
There is, for sure.
And every now and then you can pop one out and it's kind of okay.
Yeah.
But
you gotta know your audience, especially like the new guy. Always you can give him a ridiculous one, because you're like, I don't know. You just pawn it off on him. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's the weirdo.
That's the way to get the good ones out, is to use them on the FNGs, the new guys.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited also for what, I don't even want to say too much, but a couple of the other guide sled names. Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I just want to do a special reveal. You know how we normally do.
Yeah, for sure.
It's fun.
For sure.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So wait, David McKinney actually has a question. He says, I actually have questions, period. Rotating mass, best bang for the buck is it honestly noticeable? ZRP question mark or Patrick's question mark?
Well,
if you can speak on it first, and then I'll follow up.
Well, I've run the Patrick custom carbon setup 3 times. Yeah, so at least twice. I lost count a little bit, but on Ron Burgundy back in 17 or 16, and then last year I got to run it on Old Ostwin, and it's noticeable for sure.
Yeah,
it's smoother. It just feels a little bit rippier. It's just, you can feel it in the smoothness. I think it makes complete sense. Like, I'd love to see the factory doing that. The clutches should be balanced, and to lighten them even better. So what Patrick does is pretty amazing, and he'll show you the charts on what it is stock versus where it ends up after he balances it and lightens it. Obviously I don't have a graph or anything to show, but I think you've seen him, Ross. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess that's my quick summary on that. It does make a big difference, I feel. And I personally feel, even though, we get new sleds every year, that if you're keeping a sled for a long time, it's going to make a difference too, just with wear and tear.
Yeah.
Belts and belt life and all that.
Yeah. The numbers on the balancing sheets are out of control, for sure. And like he does a really, really good job compared to what comes out of the factory. One option too is you don't need to do the carbon cover. That's the lightest option, but you can throw a ZRP cover on there. Ounces equal grams. So when you do it all, like, that's how I would say, is like, if you're going to go big, do the clutches, and that's like your biggest expense, but then go do the brake rotor, go do the stator, do as much as you can, because then you're really going to feel it. And it is a noticeable difference for sure. When you do it all and you step off of that sled, and then you get on like a stock sled, you're like, whoa, this thing is a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot rippier. So that's what I recommend as well, as
That's a good point, Ross, when you talk about doing the whole package of lightweight goodness. Holy crap, get on one of your sleds or Chris's sleds and then ride a stock one. Of course, a stock sled's amazing, but whoa, the difference. It's like, I remember riding one of Chris's first lightweight sleds back in 16. I don't even know if we had a name for it. We just call it the Monster.
Yeah,
I remember getting on that thing, and literally it felt like I was on a BMX bike. I was able to just like bunny hop out of the snow.
Yeah.
I couldn't
ride it.
No, it wasn't. I mean, for most humans, it wasn't very rideable.
No,
because it was so amazingly light. You just had to change everything in your style, which is a good thing, but not something you just jumped on and went, oh yeah, I'm in the NAR. This is easy. No, that's so different.
That was the last 55 turbo. That was like that Chris, I think, has built.
Well, we did Spulio. He did that random one last year.
Oh yeah. That was.
But it was kind of like hey, let's just build this for fun.
Yeah. Okay. Believe it or not, people, Spulio was a snowmobile that we just found parts in the shed for, essentially. Like, we had like an most
amazing sled.
Yeah, we had like an earlier like lightweight tank and seat, and like we had like all these turbo parts, and all we needed to do was like order some charge tubes, and it ended up being this freak of a snowmobile. But that was the last Monster was the last like turbo that Brandt built for himself. That was 55, because it just didn't. You like couldn't go up. It did stuff. It was so wild, and I would I would actually love to ride that snowmobile like on the West Coast in my neck of the woods in wetter snow, where you can ride a 55 a little bit better. But when you get in that like that deep, springy, just sugar stuff in Colorado, it does not want to go up. It wants to flip over on itself. So
mousetrap.
Yeah. Jordan says Chris and I started the sled name thing back in 08-09 as a way to do replacement pieces for the wraps during Chris's first-ish season at BBA. And you guys, as usual, took it to NASA level.
That's cool. I didn't know that. I started the name game with Chris when I was a client in April of 09. Me and my wife Jeannie came out to ride. That was my first experience with Chris and San. And it was just like walking into like old time friends, and they're working on the excursion, putting a stereo system in it. I was helping. And then I don't remember the first name, but I just started riding on, I think, the taillight.
Yeah.
Or if it wasn't that season, it was the next season. But that's kind of what started the madness for me. It just kind of made it more fun, like, because there were stories revolving around each of the sleds, especially the one I was riding. I got to ride a M8 Turbo the first time I went out. And I don't know if I named that one, or maybe it was even the next season. But I remember Party Mix was one of the first ones, because clients would throw their food in the tunnel bags and then it would explode everywhere. So, they all get a name typically from something to that effect. So that's cool to hear Jordan did that with wrap replacements. I didn't know that.
That was probably all happening around the same time, and you just hadn't even met.
I didn't even know Jordan then.
Yeah,
but
meet the Arctic FX crew yet.
Yeah.
Jordan
was cool. He helped me a lot when I first started at BBA, just kind of get things dialed with like our online store and shipping, and it's like, I don't know exactly what I'm doing. I'm learning as I go, and Jordan was there, so that was fun.
Big ups and mad love to the Arctic FX crew.
That's
Jordan.
Right.
So one of the funnier name stories, and like stories of my inception there was when I came out to ride with Chris. So I was actually supposed to ride with Sane, and that was the year Sane broke his leg. And then so I showed up. Sane's gone. He broke his leg. I end up riding with Chris, and Chris puts me on a year older. Like it was 2013s, I think, were the sleds that they were riding, and he put me on a 2012 Pro which was a proto. It was like a pre-production 2012 named Chaos, actually.
Oh yes, Chaos, the orange one.
And that thing was beat up before I got it, and then I beat it to a pulp. And then I think it stayed in the fleet for another year as like a backup, an extra super duper backup sled. And because it was a snowmobile that came from the factory that was a pre-production, we actually had to send it back. And so it gets sent back. And then it was probably the next year after we sent it back, we're at Heydays. And this girl shows up with with Chaos's side panels and hood. And she's like, "Oh, I'm an intern at the factory, and we had to dismantle the snowmobile, and I asked if I could keep the hood and side panels because I knew it was from you guys, and I was wondering if you could all sign it." It was so crazy because that snowmobile had seen some stuff. It was cool.
Yeah, I think all of us got to ride it. It had some cool stuff on it too, like some prototype stuff, just running boards. Like that was probably one of the first iterations of like the higher and shorter running boards. I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but I remember it.
I think it had a 900 in it for a minute.
Yeah, it might have.
Like an early Carl's 9, and then it got taken out, and all sorts of stuff like that. So
boy, that goes back a minute, huh?
It does go back a minute. Yeah.
Whoa.
So
had some times.
They have had some times. gone through some snowmobiles and built some snowmobiles and put back together some snowmobiles. So yeah, all that stuff is super fun.
Man, any other questions?
Jordan also says that he passed you at the airport.
You did?
I don't know. Maybe he's talking early times.
Huh. Should say, hey, next time. I was just at the airport. Friday.
Okay, so here's a question. Do we run the finger throttles? We do. We're not finger throttle people. So
That's been a question. Like for me, we've had that question like 5 times this week.
yeah,
Just doesn't fit our style.
yeah, I think it's a fine option.
Yeah.
For riding in the trees, how we ride. And a lot of us are so glued to like just so comfortable with the thumb throttle that it's, and then also it's the thumb throttle is a little bit more protected from being pinned against a tree. I know they have the guard now, but like even like branches, we ride in like the thickest, we ride in like ferns, all sorts of stuff, the jungle. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, especially in Chile. It is the jungle.
Oh my God. It's such a jungle.
And it's sharp. Yeah.
It's
So
sharp.
for us, it just isn't the greatest fit. I can think of like daily times where I'm pounding against trees.
Yeah.
With my bars. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Jordan asks, what's the biggest season parts bill from a client mishap you guys have ever had? I can't think of one specifically, but I have a couple memorable like instances.
I have a good memory. It's
I
not
have
so
a good
good
memory.
actually.
Oh yeah, I got one too. Yeah, go ahead.
To share. It was maybe my second season, maybe first. And this always, like, this is the joke. Like, we're talking to Avery about this. The trail is the most dangerous place.
Oh, dude.
It's the trail. Like, that's where the crap happens. There was this client who was from Russia, actually, and he didn't even speak English. This was like 9 years ago. And we were riding on our most easiest trail, the Cottonwood Pass, which if you're a client, you'll be familiar with that. And right before the truck, he was pretty much wide open and hit the berm where the snowcat parks and just sent her into the orbit. And the sled landed on the gate. I shouldn't even laugh because it's not funny.
It's not funny
at all.
It's
when
not.
you roll up on that and the sled's upside down in the ditch, smoking and smoldering, and it was totaled. There's other stories like that, but that wasn't so good.
Yeah. I think one of my favorites was actually in Chile this last time. So Chris leaves. Kyle was supposed to be there a day with Chris, so Chris could be like, give him kind of some oversight before it was just Kyle and I left to like fend for ourselves and just hope everything worked. I'm kidding. We had a grip on everything. We had it dialed.
Yeah.
So Chris is like, okay, cause Kyle missed like every flight possible.
He was a day late.
It was bad. He's like, do not let Kyle do anything dumb the first day. And here comes Kyle the first day, and I was filming it, so I'm just as guilty. And he's like 14 feet in the air sideways, just sending this cornice, landing on his side in like the first 30 minutes. But I think later in that day, the other thing that Chris told me is he's like, the number one thing down in Chile is when we go down there and act as guides, we don't have parts. So we have to be careful with our snowmobiles. And the number one thing is do not let go of your snowmobile. So he's like, hey, just make sure they don't let go of their snowmobile. Well, guess what? First day, we're letting go of snowmobiles. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh God. And I'm thinking like, it's not a big deal. Like we did a couple pieces and we got the sled fixed, but it was like the fact that I had to be like, hey, guess what? We're letting go of snowmobiles after you just told me not to let anybody let go of snowmobiles. But it was, I was just like in my helmet. I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna be a fun phone call.
Here's what I always say: like if you talk about it, it happens.
For sure. Yeah,
especially with Chris.
You speak that shit
guys,
into
we're
existence.
Gonna take it easy.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we're all
upside down.
And broken stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
But that's funny you talk about that story with Kyle because that picture he must have taken of him just sideways in the air. It's on his like little bio page on the BBA page.
Yeah.
I was looking at that the other day going, oh, I wish that was a little cleaner shot, but it's sick.
That was with the $800 dad cam, bro.
Yeah. I missed the dad cam.
Yeah. The dad cam is actually, I'll be honest. I'm like thinking about getting another dad cam that's a little bit better because like it just does certain things really well. So even with my brand new camera, there's some downfalls, especially if you're not like a camera operator. But yeah, there's some things that are going to do as well.
Cool. Well, had some good questions.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stories. I mean, we could go on and on about stories.
Oh, for sure. We just do story time with Roscoe and Ryan.
Yeah, we should do a story time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once we'll get you a little USB mic and we can have you on more all the time.
Oh man. I just love talking about it all. There's so much fun to talk about.
It is. Because I think we've had a pretty successful stream so far. I mean, chat.
One little setback, but it's just because my phone died.
Yeah, Ryan's phone died. My camera died. The thing that pissed me off about the camera this evening is I just checked before I brought you into the call, and it had full bars.
Oh, I know, and I just charged my phone. Like I thought, it's plenty.
Yeah.
Then,
yeah.
COVID.
Hey, it's what happens.
That's what happens. Yeah.
So,
Let's do story time next, and we'll just. I don't know. What does everyone else think?
Yeah.
Story time with R&R.
Yeah, story time with R&R. Jordan.
What Jordan is this? We know a lot of Jordans.
Oh, this is Jordan Yankee.
Oh, hey Jordan.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a different one.
No, it's legit Jordan. Yeah, he was talking about the Russians at Wolf Creek, saying money's like dust to me. You know.
Money is. Oh yes, that was the other story that was in my head as that. I was talking about the first one, but yeah, the sled upside down on the highway.
Yeah.
We don't really need to say any more than that to know that that was another highlight of sled carnage, absolute carnage.
Yeah.
Money is dust.
And he just goes, money is like dust to me. And like all the guys are in the shop like, well, guess what? We got to spend 7 hours putting the snowmobile back together.
Wasn't that your first year?
No.
Or were you a client then?
I think that was the year I was a client.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
God, there's a story right there. I remember talking to your dad in 2011 or 12. I didn't know who you were or who your dad was. I just knew he was a nice guy and he wanted to book you a trip because you were graduating.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to ride with you the first time you came out, but I do remember, since we're talking stories, I do remember walking into the shop in Kremling when we were there before we had moved for the season to be in BV.
Mm-hmm.
Each year we used to have to do that, but I remember like, who is this kid?
Yeah.
Like I knew who you were, but man, talking about a ball of fire.
Oh, dude.
What happened?
Yeah. Yeah, I lost my edge. Something.
I just remember you just had your sled like torn apart, shocks. Yeah. You were doing everything. I'm like, dude, this kid's all in. And you were going to college, remember?
Yeah, I was going to college, dude. That's the greatest hack I've ever pulled.
That was the best in ever. Yeah,
dude.
Roscoe moves to Colorado to go to college, but that ended quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It actually worked.
It did.
Yeah,
it worked.
Which is crazy, but had to put myself in the spot to have the opportunity happen. So
yeah, and heck, you did it.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I was just like months of begging, I think, and he finally gave in.
Yeah. Well, I had to hound Brant because he sucks at answering emails. So,
yeah, I do that now.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't think Brant's responded yet. That's okay. I'll take care of it, and then I can usually get Brant to chime in because if I say something wrong, then that gives him the opportunity. So
yeah, for sure. Tarps says, do you guys don't want to talk about other brands other than Polaris? Because Heston asked about how cats compare to Polaris. Dude, I'll talk about anything. We can talk about.
We get to ride them all.
I'm afraid of nothing. We
get to see them ridden by lots of people at lots of different skill levels.
Yeah. So let me see if I can actually. I think I saw.
You go, Ross.
I think I saw this question, and we were just on the roll of something else.
Okay.
What do you think of the new cats and how they compare to the Polarises out of the factory? Boom. Pretty straightforward question. So all of the sled manufacturers right now are making good snowmobiles. They all have their unique traits. Yeah. And I can speak freely about it too. Cause I don't, I'm not a factory athlete for anybody. And which is, it's cool to just see what they all do well and acknowledge that. And I mean, even at BBA, I mean, you guys acknowledge that, but people hardly believe it when, you know, they're like, oh, you're just saying that or yada, yada. But so like the cat is great. I like how the cats steer. They handle pretty well. They're a little bit heavy. The motor is great. I think their motors are good. They build good power. The mono beam rail is it's not my favorite thing, but I'm also not that mad at it in certain conditions. In the deep snow, it's like the easiest. It's very easy to ride where you run
in the flatter terrain, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Where you run into some issues, I would say, is like when it gets harder packed snow in steeper terrain, that track has just so much flex that you can't like cut yourself a road on a side hill, because that's essentially what you're doing when you're side hilling is you're using that track to cut a ledge, and that's what your sled rests on, is that ledge. So when your track can flex, you're not as efficient at cutting that ledge, and then you get high sided and thrown down like that. So, you know, that's kind of the thing with that. But like I said, in the deep snow, they handle really well. They go good. The track is good. They have a lot of good things about them. They're just heavier, which, you know, light snowmobiles are fun. We like those. And one thing that I'm interested in, so I actually saw, and I didn't do any research, but K-Mod built like a narrow kit for it, I think. And I don't know what it is. Like, is it like as narrow as the Alpha rail, or is it like a narrower skid in an Alpha track setup? Which is interesting to me. Like, what if we just narrowed the skid a little bit? We didn't go mono beam, but if we narrowed the skid and it was still rigid, I don't know. So I think there's, you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next few years. We've seen the trends, but like the skid is something that hasn't been changed in forever.
Mm-mm.
So for them to even do it is huge, like to do something different.
Yeah, it is. It's just the whole pushing things in different ways that we need from all manufacturers. So it's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's all I got on that topic.
It's nice and clean, concise. What's
Concise.
Next? Another question?
Yeah. Four-stroke turbos, mountain sidewinder, thoughts? Dude, I wish they were. It's just the weight. That's really the only thing. If they were light,
hold on.
Yeah, they build a good power, but they just aren't. You know, the four-stroke isn't light enough at this point. You know, we've seen so far.
The lightweight thing is really big. Like we've touched on that a little bit, but it just really makes things easier. And you got a lot going against you with elements and mindset and all that. So the more you can take out of it to make your experience, you know, better, easier on the snow, it just helps your riding progress that much quicker. So the lightweightness of a sled is really important for the type of riding that we do, which, you know, not everyone's doing that. And of course we're not every day in super gnar in the trees, but at least one point in the day, we always make a point to be. So, and that's where, you know, having the right tool for the job is critical. And so,
yeah,
lightweight is key. As much as you can be.
For sure.
And it can be yourself as well, like we talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, as much as you can do there to help yourself.
Yeah. Aiden asks about like an assault versus a pro. You know, in the pro chassis, because I know Aiden's looking for a sled, and we've talked about this a little bit. We talked about it with Sane as well. The assault to pro is actually a pretty big jump, especially with that track. They used to have a different track. So I would go pro, but like now chaos to pro RMK isn't as much in the pro chassis as much as assault was. Assault had a wider front end and did all these things and had a different track, whereas the chaos just has a few little minor adjustments that kind of makes it easier to ride. And then we have another question. Now the sled questions are just rolling in deep.
That's cool.
How do you feel about the factory turbo Skidoo?
That's all you, Ross. I haven't had a chance to ride that yet.
I haven't ridden the turbo. I've ridden a new Skidoo a little bit. Up in Grizzly, I rode one, and then a couple guys come out, and I rode them back with them for a short amount of time. So, I think, regardless, because I don't have any seat time on it and I haven't even thrown a leg over it, just the fact that they did it is cool, right?
Pushing things again.
Pushing
awesome.
things. Yeah. And I think it helps the high elevation stuff. And that's what the real thing is just the fact that it doesn't lose power is cool, right? Like we lose power going up, and just to have that sled, I mean, we've already transitioned into our mod sleds of riding lower boost snowmobiles because they're more manageable. We don't ride the big 10, 12 pound sleds anymore because we just can't even hold on to them. We want to ride something that's fun and we can manage it all day long. And, so it's cool that it just stays consistent and it's manageable power and it's from the factory and it has a warranty. That's sweet. Everybody else is now going to figure out what their next move is. It's pushing the industry forward. So I'm all about that for sure. Do you want more sled questions, Ryan? How you doing on time there, bro?
Yeah. Oh, I'm good. I'm just enjoying the ride. So there's some other questions. Let's hit them.
Yeah. Let's see.
My guys.
So maybe some must-do upgrades on axes. QS3. Thoughts on? So let's talking about suspension a little bit. QS3s. I saw another question about IQS. Have you ridden you've ridden IQS a little bit?
Yeah. Oswin has IQS, which I got to rip all last year. It's impressive. I guess it's the elite shock package. So, you got your adjustability at your handlebar, at your fingertips. So the coolest part, I would say, and Ross, you chime in here because you got to run them as well, is it has that lockout feature on the rear. So, and this is where I oftentimes would fail because I got to get it in my mind better that it's there. But when you are in the NAR and you really need to get stuff done, you want to keep that front end down as much as possible to keep your momentum going forward versus wheeling. Of course, wheeling is fun, but there are those times when I'm trying to follow Ross or Kyle or push myself. So, having that lockout feature with the IQS right at your handlebar, at your grip, that's probably my favorite feature about the IQS, that electronic adjustability. And then also, we had a great day of riding. We go to hit the trail. Fortunately, our trails are pretty short and mostly smooth, but it's nice to put it on the soft mode so you can just pound those bumps. And of course, you get that same setup, that same ability on like the QS3s, but it depends on your budget. You just got to get off the sled and turn the knobs. So that's kind of my quick spin on it. Different price points and quick adjustabilities and such. So, Ross?
Yeah.
You kind of experienced the same thing, didn't you?
For sure. And you nailed it on, you hit all the points on why it's the package. And I love it, dude. I was like kind of skeptical at first, because this is expensive. I was like, do I need it? And then I rode it and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so sick. And so there's a couple minor differences in the valving because it's on the handlebar. So what Fox did, the geniuses over there, they're like, oh, if you can change it all the time, let's make the jumps bigger so we can actually be more specific on the terrain we want to ride. So one is a little bit softer and lockout is like even a harder lockout, and the center track shock is designed to go up, and it actually makes a huge difference. Like it's a really big difference, and it does a lot. You put that thing in one or two and try to climb a hill, and then you lock it out, and you're going up. A couple of times I got the sled stuck in like 1 or 2 position, and as I was stuck, I locked the shocks out, pinned, and I could like get the sled unstuck because it was locked out. Like it just let that track climb. Whereas on 1 or 2, it wants to dig more and transfer more. So it's a really cool, fun thing. The only thing that I hope is they make like a bigger button. So when I'm in panic mode, I'm gonna like lock out, go. But you actually,
that's where I fail.
As you ride it, you get used to it. And by, about halfway through the season, I could lock it out as I was riding pretty comfortably. You just have to, if it's your sled that you ride all the time, you kind of get used to it and you can actually lock it out like as you're moving, you know. You're doing power turns in the meadow and you look up and you see a sweet tree line, and you just lock that bad boy out and hold her pinned and it goes. It's fun.
That's fun. Yeah, the boys at Fox and along with Chris, of course, really spent a lot of time to get that stuff dialed. It's you got your different price points. So you got coilover option this year, you got the QS3, and then you got the full electronic IQS.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible.
I think what you said is the cool part about Fox is people probably don't see, or, you know, something that we understand is people, you know, sometimes signature like lines really they just throw somebody's name on it.
Here's your name.
Yeah. Here's your name. Here's your product. With the Fox stuff, it's like we spend serious time testing and validating and going through stuff. And I don't know how many shocks Kyle and I have changed in our career there at BBA, doing just testing shocks, you know, and we have dedicated days where we go test the product and make sure we like it and argue back and forth on what we should do or what we feel, and come to a great product in the end. So that's what it's cool. We love, I'm glad I got to be a part of it for so many years. And now I'm going to be in Chris's ear as I'm doing my own versions of testing and telling him what I think, how his shocks are running. So yeah, it's cool. I'm gonna run IQS this year as well, so I'm excited about it.
Right on.
Can't go back.
It's just like that lightweight disease. Once you got the IQS disease,
yeah,
pretty sweet.
Here's an interesting question from Steve. If you could open a destination riding lodge in the West, where would it be? Permits and money are covered. No. I'm like, dude, whoa.
Wow.
That's a question.
Dangerous.
We never think about that because all we think about are permits and money.
Yeah, that's true. Gosh, what do you think, Ross? In the West.
In the West, destination riding lodge. Somewhere in Idaho, it'd be cool. I think in between, like around northern Idaho somewhere, like in McCall up in there, like, because there's a handful of towns, and as you go like from McCall up northern Idaho, somewhere in there where it's a lodge that is off the grid, maybe it's an hour and a half from the nearest town in the truck, and then you have to ride into it, but they have everything once you're there, like a Grizzly. I think that would be really cool.
I think you nailed that one. Yeah, somewhere kind of like unknown and secret, but and it wouldn't explode in overpopulation, so to speak, because it would be so remote. And that's what's so fun about Grizzly, right?
Yeah.
We drive for a while, get to the staging area, and we jump on our sleds and go 30 miles from the nearest highway and have paradise to ourselves pretty much.
For sure. Yeah. You want the lodge far enough away that like nobody's coming for the day.
No.
They're either staying.
Every now and then you'll see someone, you're like, dude, that was an adventure to get here for a day, but good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reed says close to BC with a laughing emoji, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean,
for
sure. Down here in Central Oregon, if we didn't have the wilderness like we do, I mean, we would have a Mecca here. There's some unbelievable terrain down here, but it's just protected. So, which is cool. I'm fine with it. It doesn't bother me.
You got some good zones, don't you?
Yeah, I got some good zones. And I got a truck and I'm willing to travel. So call me. What else we got? No, gosh. Now I'm getting like, hey, has Roscoe learned how to ride a bike yet? No.
Well, you saw his hand. We talked about the handlebars.
Yeah. We already covered my injuries as I'm like bleeding through my shirt over here from my crashes. So I felt like a 12-year-old kid, you know.
Okay.
When you're like you fall on like your bike and you're like 8 years old and you're like, Mom, I'm bleeding, fix me. That's how I felt. Yeah. Both elbows, because only like kids do like both elbows or both knees, me.
You're a kid.
Yeah,
I'm sure Mom took care of you.
She did a little bit.
Good. Yeah.
She's getting to the point where she just rolls right. She's like, geez.
Yeah. Again.
What else we got? We just got some love from David and Josh. David doesn't know how he's still listening to us. I don't know how you're still listening to us either. Jordan agrees. He doesn't know how he's listening to us. We actually have more viewers now.
That's how we improve.
We have the most viewers now.
As we're kind of winding down.
Yeah. So I think that's the right. I don't know how accurate this is. Oh yeah, we're cooking, dude. We're chilling. Let's see if maybe answer a couple more. How you feeling?
Yeah, right
on. Let's talk about destinations because I just got a Sweden question. We can talk a little bit
there you
about
go.
like
You can touch on that for sure.
We can touch on. So how did I like Sweden? I love Sweden. It was an awesome time, and it was super fun. Johan and his crew showed me around and had pretty good snow and got to see a bunch of stuff. It was a very like typical Ross adventure, I feel like, because it was like a bunch of flights and just like driving around, no sleep, like really got to see a lot of it. But like parts of it, I wish I would have had a few more days to like really soak it up. Got to do some cool stuff. So I'm hoping eventually when, the world returns back and we can travel a little bit more, I'd love to get back there and do some things again. And now that I've seen it, I can be like, hey, Aiden,
let's go here.
Hey guys, Johan, remember this spot? I want to go back here and do this. So
the power's got to be incredible too. You're at low altitude compared to Colorado, right?
Yeah. Our boy Johan is like, I get there and he's like, I keep blowing belts. And I get on the sled and he has this like ridiculous clutching that just is so mean to the belts.
Violent.
And it makes the sled really fun to ride. And then the way that he would ride the sleds was just like so mean to belts. He just like on, off, pinned, all the way off, pinned, all the way off. Like he can ride a wheelie in his backyard, like with a 155, like really low elevation. And, stuff that we never see. But it was fun. It was fun to see that. But we've both ridden in Chile, BC, but where else would you like to ride? Would you rather go to like Sweden or like Japan?
That's a tough one. Both would be. So I want to do the Sweden thing. I want to do Japan, but I've never ridden in Alaska, and that's just right up there.
Mm-hmm.
People are already riding. The AK Sled Junkie.
Yeah.
What was it? 2 days ago, they're out on the snow. I know, just like the awesomeness, the commanding, just violently steep, huge peaks that surround you, and sea level to big mountains, kind of like here in the Northwest, but even greater. So those are kind of my three want tos. I've got to, do a fair amount of riding in the Northwest and Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho, all the good zones in the West, but to do some of those bigger adventures like that would eventually, I want to get there.
Yeah, for sure. And you nailed it, because we just said you guys should go ride with Jeff Dennis at Sled Alaska. Yes, we do want to ride with Jeff.
Jeff came down to ride with us.
Yeah.
Right? You got to ride with him, right, Ross?
Yep.
Yeah. He was just inquiring. Unfortunately, I had to put him on the waiting list because he wanted to come back, but we're full. Good problem, but bummer. We can't get him back yet. But yeah, good dude. We love having him.
Yeah. So
love to go up there.
Yeah, I would love to go there. Japan's my number one.
Is it?
If I can get there. And I don't care if if I go, I'm going to ride snowboards and I'm going to snowmobile.
There you go. Yeah.
Snowboard's easy. Snowmobile's the tough part, but eventually maybe I'll be able to go ride a snowmobile there and ride a snowboard. So, like things like you got guys mentioned like the Chick Chalks, and I've heard that that's actually some dope riding, super tight trees.
True.
The guys that I've ridden with from there are really, really good tree riders because it's tight and gnarly.
Tight.
So, like that's one thing that I'm excited that I'll be able to do now, and I hope I can do some of it. Is like I can go to the Chick Chalks and do something over there. I'm not tied to guiding every day. So that's
you better be, dude.
Yeah, I better be on the move. So, but
enjoy it.
Yeah. Do you guys plan on riding BC?
The border is the issue right now.
The border's the
BC,
issue, bro.
But April.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah. So, well, Ryan.
Sweet. Well, I appreciate.
Rapper. Yeah.
I appreciate the time. It's been fun. It's always fun to chat and relive some great memories and talk about sleds and trucks and bikes and snow. So I'm really excited for the winter ahead and to see your adventures, Ross, and see where you Adventure 2 and how you spin all this, and just thanks for everything you've done, and
Heck yeah.
look forward to chatting with you more.
Yeah, hopefully I'll meet up with you and the crew in Colorado maybe once or twice. And yeah, we'll get you on here. We'll do story time here pretty quick. Yeah. So I appreciate you doing the test run with me. I think we've had a pretty smooth test. Finally got
that was a pretty good test.
Yeah, most of it figured out. So I changed up the video call. I was using a different server before, but I think this is a little bit more accessible to people. If you don't have, everybody's got Zoom, so we're just doing it on Zoom, and yeah, the audio is pretty good, and especially if we get, get the guests a little USB mic, we're even better. So
that's right.
It's a good start. I appreciate you being here, and appreciate everybody listening, and yeah. So if you guys are watching and you don't follow Ryan McConnell on his socials, get it going. Come on. So that's
join the entertainment.
Yeah. At MC_Ryan, am I correct?
Yeah, and then an underscore at the end for
fun. For fun. Just for shits and gigs. Cool. All right, dude. I appreciate it.
Thanks again.
All right. We'll see you very soon, my guy.
See you soon.
Okay. Later.
Out. Later.
Whoa. All right, guys. Thanks for being here, hanging out. Had a dope time. I hope the stream went pretty smooth. Just killing it. I appreciate all you guys being in here. Shout out to Aiden. Quit donating money to me. I need you to go buy a snowmobile. Franco, thanks for the love. $5 on the super chat. Bro, keep it up. Got to be consistent, and the viewers will keep it. Yeah, we're going hard from here on out. I'm excited I feel like I need to prove to some of my other athletes in the industry and people and be like, yo, this is legit. Like, we're looking pretty professional right now, I feel like. So I want to get that going, and I appreciate the support from everybody. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. That means a bunch. Sharing it also means a bunch. Want to keep doing this a lot, and I hope we're smooth here. Nicholas, thanks for being here. Aiden, thanks for always being in here. Steven, Shane, Jordan, thanks, dude. Appreciate all the support. Yeah, appreciate it. No, Aiden, you're done. I'm going to start sending you money back, bro. Yeah, look forward to it. Tell your friends, make sure you subscribe, share on your social media channels, and look for me with another guest early next week. Let me know who you want to see. And even better, maybe you go like do a little Instagram story and mention them, like, yo, go chat with Roscoe. So appreciate it, guys. And until next time, I'll see you later, and let's bring on the snow.